Good morning, I'm Sheriff Carmine Marceno. Thanks for being here today. Accountability and transparency are two things I've promised since day one. Professionalism and compassion are two things I demand from my family members all of the time. The great residents of Lee County give us an incredible amount of trust and responsibility. If an employee breaks this trust, it is addressed immediately. Yesterday, Corrections Deputies Casey Howell and Enzo Finnemore were fired and arrested. This disgusting actions violated this trust. Their actions were cruel. It will not be tolerated. During routine visual checks in the core facility, injuries were observed on an inmate housed in the direct observation area. This area is used for inmates who are violent and/or a danger to themselves or others. The injuries appeared to be burns. The deputy doing these checks immediately notified his supervisor. An inquiry found out that these injuries were first and second degree burns caused by former Deputy Casey Howell. Corrections personnel immediately contacted our major crimes unit. Without hesitation, they responded and left no stone unturned. The investigation found that Howell and Finnemore threw scalding hot water from a water dispenser onto the inmates to gain compliance. Two additional victims were located having similar injuries and statements. None of these victims said anything. We are acting on their behalf and will right as wrong as much as we can. I took immediate action. These two lost their privilege of being our family members. They disgraced the badge. Corrections officers have the responsibility of maintaining the welfare of inmates under our care. From common thieves all the way up to murderers on trial, my Corrections Bureau is responsible for their safety and security. This never allows a person to mistreat or brutalize another human being, especially when they are in the position of power and over the care of another person. Howell has been charged with felony official misconduct and 1 count of felony battery and 1 count of misdemeanor battery. Finnemore has been charged with felony official misconduct and 1 count of misdemeanor battery. I want to be clear. I will never tolerate this behavior, regardless of the position or title you hold. I'm standing here today being transparent. I am sharing this ugly and horrible investigation because it's the right thing to do. I don't hide it or anything. Remedies have already been taken. Short and long-term goals have been created to learn from this incident. We fix how we train, and we change policy. We take a hard look internally. We must hold ourselves accountable first. We are dedicated to giving the highest level of service. We are blessed with great residents in Lee County, and your trust is sacred to me. I want to reiterate, transparency, trust. The great people of Lee County deserve better. I'm sickened by the actions here, and we will bring justice to those, in this case, the 2 inmates. I'll take questions.
Have you interviewed these deputies and the other inmates to see if they've had any kind of prior incidents or any inappropriate behavior towards other inmates?
So our major crimes unit, our detectives, immediately upon receiving that call, went out and conducted dozens of interviews. We leave no stone unturned. We are going to make certain that all the details come to us immediately, thoroughly. We investigate, and then we present it transparently. Leaving no stone unturned, I'm confident there are no other victims.
Is this a concern that the family can come after you guys in law enforcement for this happening?
It's no concern. It is what it is, meaning this is very unfortunate. It's sickening. And they have the right to be furious because I am disgusted and furious by this behavior. This disgraced the badge. I'm sad that I'm here telling you this today. No human being deserves this. And this is sickening. And I'm sorry, what was the next question?
Did the family
No, so we do routine checks all the time. Another deputy inside the facility heard rumors that possibly someone threw scalding hot water on an inmate. Well, once we get that information, we leave no stone unturned. Anytime we receive information, we are going to act immediately. Our major crimes unit goes out, we do all the interviews, we investigate, again, leaving no stone unturned. And that investigation was done. In conclusion, what you see sickens me, but you see our deputies who are no longer family members that disgraced the badge going to jail.
Any connection between the two deputies and the inmates that were injured?
No, there was no connection. We acted on the inmates' behalf because it's the right thing to do. We don't hide anything. I'm proud of our correctional staff and our Bureau of Corrections. You know, look, transparency starts here. It starts here. And I have zero tolerance, as I've always said, and that goes for my LCSO family as well. The victims were one white male, one Hispanic male, and one African-American male. The deputies were white. 1,700 plus employees at the Lee County Sheriff's Office. It sickens me that 2 of them acted this way. This was our direct observation unit, and again, we are not going to ever tolerate this type of behavior.
Are there any other deputies currently being investigated?
No, at this present time, our investigation was concluded. It's very thorough. Now, that's not to say that if we receive any other information, again, when we receive information, we don't wait 1 second. It's all hands on deck, and I'm bringing it to you. This is not the news inquiring about something. This is me, unfortunately, standing here telling you what took place. Because 1, transparency is the utmost important. Trust. The people trust in their sheriff's office to do what's right. In this case, we did not. That's why they're both right here.
How long did they work as deputies here?
So Finnemore started in 2021 of December, and Howell started in 2022. Howell had 3 response to resistance. Finnemore had 1 response to resistance, meaning use of force, but all were found to be within the guidelines with no internal affairs. So this is the first time something of this caliber came forward. And again, from my heart, I hurt today delivering you this message. It sickens me. This is incomprehensible that someone could act out in this way.
I have 2 separate questions.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned on one hand that there were 2 victims or 3 victims.
So we talked and conducted all the different interviews. In conclusion, okay, we talked to all the different people. These 2 deputies were arrested for 2 different victims. Okay, both victims did not come forward. We actually were the people that brought the information to them. We conducted our investigations. I will tell you that Howell's bond is $16,500 for all counts. Finnemore had $6,500 worth of bond, and you know, we had redness on the victim's chest and arms, which were consistent with degree burns. They were treated on site by our medical staff. And again, when we conduct our investigations, we don't pick and choose them. We just go in full force, leaving no stone unturned for fact-finding missions. The second we develop probable cause, we've arrested both deputies.
Is medical staff expected to report such burns if they see that?
There are many layers of security. Both the deputies that are going through and around, if they see something, they say something, we call a supervisor. Medical staff plays a critical role if they see something. So there are many of layers. And in this system, look, the victims didn't come forward to us. We noticed what took place. And again, we didn't wait 1 second. I wish I wasn't here telling you about this. But again, this is a very large agency. We're 1,700 plus. If we have bad apples, okay, we don't wait 1 second. I don't want them as part of my family. They now disgrace the rest of my family. People will paint with a wide brush, unfortunately. But one thing they should know, the residents of Lee County should know, is that transparency starts at the top. And our department, who I'm very, very proud of, they do amazing things every single day. Unfortunately, these 2 tarnished that badge, and it's not going to be tolerated. Zero tolerance is not just against crime. These are crimes. Zero tolerance also deals with the Lee County Sheriff's Office, my family members, because we are in a position of power and authority, And we have to do it the right way because trust is the most important thing. And those residents, the residents of Lee County trust in I as the sheriff and our law enforcement agency to do what's right every time, and we will hold that standard.
Was this caught on camera?
It was not. So right now we've done a bunch of different things to remedy the situation. We removed the hot water dispensers from the officers in this wing, so there's no more hot water capabilities. And we added the supervisor to the direct observation unit. And we're taking a hard look at our training and our policies to make sure that we do everything that we can to prevent this from ever happening again. Camera systems in the jail are there, but in this particular wing, they're not. We've implemented cameras here right now, but we're looking at a $10 to $12 million purchase on cameras for every single position of the jail. We do have surveillance there. But to put full cameras in every place, it's about $10 to $12 million. So again, people always harp on the camera issue. Cameras are great, but doing what's right is most important. Receiving that information, not waiting 1 second, and doing a complete, thorough investigation where we're bringing it to you is so important. We will never not do what's right, and when we don't, I own it. As the sheriff, the buck stops here. I'm responsible for these actions. And again, I have to bring it to you transparently. I am sickened by this behavior. Zero tolerance.
How many cameras, you were mentioning the issue about security cameras. How many are needed and what would the total cost be?
So I don't know exactly how many cameras are needed. It's a huge facility. We have surveillance in there, but I know that we are trying to competitively bid to see how much it's going to cost. I was told roughly, give or take, $12 million so that we cover every portion, but we have surveillance in the jail. And again, the most important thing to know is there's so many eyes and ears out there in our jail, our correctional deputies. Another deputy came forward because he felt something was not right and he heard a rumor. That snowballed an investigation. We are going to do what's right, and we are not, look, we work way too hard every day doing great things to let anyone tarnish our badge. It's unacceptable.
Last July, you mentioned the arrest of a deputy accused of a battery incident at their home. You have announced, with these two, at least 3 deputies or, staff arrested for different crimes. What steps is, LCSO taking? Is it training-wise or,
So we train all the time, and sometimes instances we train 7 times the mandated amount by Florida state statute. How you train is how you perform, but you can train continuously, and that doesn't mean that someone's going to make a poor decision or a horrific decision here. We want to look at everything, look at our policies and procedures, look at our training. Unfortunately, something like this, we stop immediately and we say, did we do everything we possibly can? Can we be better? We can always learn and be better. But with 1,700 employees plus and growing every single day, it saddens me that even 2 of those 1,700 acted this way. You can't control everyone every single day, but what we can control is how we train, how we perform. We can control our policies, and most importantly, if we screw up, if we do something that's not right, it's owning it immediately. It's being transparent, never covering anything up, and moving forward the way we should, learning from it, doing better, and preventing it. And here, again, I've said this numerous times, but as a human being, not as the sheriff, as a human being, I'm sickened by this behavior. As the sheriff, I'm mortified that I stand here to say 2 no longer family members acted this way. They're a trust. The people put trust in their sheriff's office, in their law enforcement. When we break that trust, that's very, very serious. It's taken serious, and it's the utmost importance to me that they believe in me and us as law enforcement.
Is the internal investigation closed, or how long do you expect that to?
So our internal investigation was complete. It's still an open type investigation, obviously with the bonds and stuff, but I am confident in our investigation, utilizing our major crimes unit, our internal affairs unit, that we have left no stone unturned. We have done dozens of interviews to ensure that we've left no stone unturned, and probable cause was established, and that's why you see those two people here today.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you.